भोग करी यशः सुख करी विद्या गुरुणां गुरु विद्या बंधु जनो विदेश गमने विद्या परम दैवतम विद्या राजसु पूज्यते नहीं धनम विद्या विहीना पशु. It is this traditional belief in the enlightening nature, the moral character, the transformative power, and the liberating potential of education that forms the very foundation of Ahmadabad University. Established in 2009, Ahmadabad University completes 5 years since its inception. And it is my privilege to welcome you all to this 5th Foundation Day of Ahmadabad University. A very warm welcome to all of you. We begin with a celebration, with an invocation to the spirit of knowledge. I invite our student Meenakshi on the stage to sing the invocation.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा शुभकार्येषु सर्वदा स स म म म म म ध ध ध म ध स स स स रे स स स नि स नि 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 ध नि ध ध म म म रे रे स स स म म ध ध स रे स ध ध स रे रे विद्या श्री परम विद्या चंडी भैरवी मर्दिनी भैरवी मर्दिनी दुर्गा दुर्गा शिव घोरा चंद्रहंडी प्रचंडिका महेश्वरा देवी भैरवी चंद्र विक्रमा प्रमथई शोभिता कृष्ण चामुंडा प्रमथई शोभिता कृष्ण चामुंडा मुंडमर्दिनी रणघंटा चंद्रघंटा रण रणप्रिया रणघंटा चंद्रघंटा रण रणप्रिया भावनी भद्रकाली च शिवा घोरा दयालता सनि सनि धम धनि सा विद्या श्री परम विद्या चंडी भैरवी मर्दिनी भैरवी मर्दिनी भैरवी मर्दिनी. Thank you.
Thank you, Meenakshi. Our guest of honor today is a leading figure in the world of business, a philanthropist, and the patron of Ahmadabad University. I request Shri Prafulla Anuhai, Chairman of Board of Management of Ahmadabad University, to introduce to the audience our guest of honor for the day, Shri Prakash Modi.
11, Dr. Prakash Modi, Dr. Kalro, B.M. Shah. Distinguished guests, faculty members and students. Today is our foundation day. 5 years have passed. 5 years of excitement, of exploration, of experimentation. Some good times, some good turns, and some learnings. We have today two important guests. The chief guest, of course, is Leela Ben, and Dr. Kalro will introduce her later. And the guest of honor is Dr. Prakash Modi. I'd like to say a few words about him and also about the little ceremony that we just performed. Just a few minutes back, Leela Ben unveiled this bust of Shri Amrut Modi. This campus, called the Amrut Modi School of Management, has been named after Amrut Modi, that is Dr. Prakash Modi's father. I'd like to say a few words about Shri Amrut Modi, because most of us probably do not know who he was, what he did. He was not from Ahmadabad. Of course, he was a Gujarati. Born in Kapadganj. But for most of his life, he worked in Bombay. He was the pioneer of Indian pharma industry. Way back in 1944, he started Unichem Laboratories Limited. At that time, the almost entire pharma industry was in the hands of the multinational corporations. He and a few others started what has then become the Indian pharmaceutical industry. So he was a founder and a pioneer of Indian pharma industry. After founding this, single-handedly he built Unichem Laboratories to be a large pharmaceutical company in India. While he did that, he was all the time concerned about research and education. He was the founder of the Bombay College of Pharmacy. He was the president of the Indian Pharmaceutical Association. He was the chairman of the Pharmaceutical and Drugs Research Committee of CSIR. And in one of his speeches, or rather the presidential address that he gave at the Indian Pharmaceutical Congress Association, he made 3 points. He said that, and this is going back to 1972, that's the time the management movement had just begun to appear in the country. IIM was established in 1965. I mean, the first batch. So those were early days of awareness about management education. And he was, in 1972, he said that we need to start an institute of management for pharmaceutical companies. So that is the kind of thinking he had. The second point he made was that industry and industrial research is very important in developing pharmaceutical industry. He said, and he established himself, fellowships, research fellowships in various institutions. And he said that industry and research organizations need to work hand in hand. So that was the second point he made. And the third point he made was, and in those days, where there was a great deal of emphasis on professional education, the point he made was that we need to find a golden mean between specialized professional education and liberal education. Now, as you look back on this address in 1972, you can see how prescient he was in anticipating the issues that we are going to face in education and research. So that was the man. After this, he got recognition by the government. He was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 1972. He was awarded the Pharmaceutical Scientist Award in 1990. And the company also flourished. Now I come to Dr. Prakash Modi. He is currently the chairman and managing director of Unichem Laboratories Limited. He has built on the foundation that his father laid. He's done his PhD in pharmacology. He has been taking a great deal of interest in education. And most importantly, he has a deep empathy and concern for people of at all levels within his organization and outside. When this university was established in 2009, which I just mentioned, in 2010, I was having a conversation with him and Mr. B.K. Sharma, who also happens to be here, and the three of us were just spending a little time discussing general matters. I mentioned to him that Amrut Modi thought about education, about research, and he was such a pioneer. We are starting this university. There is the School of Management. And I feel that one of the best ways of commemorating him is to create an endowment to support this School of Management. That's what I mentioned to him. And this is worth noting. 5 minutes, he asked me some simple questions. What is this university? School of Management, what kind of programs do you run? And so on. At the end of 5 minutes, he said, yes, I will contribute to create this endowment. And I had not mentioned any figure. So he and Sharmaji volunteered. All right, we'll give you 150 million rupees. A decision of 150 million rupees. in 5 minutes, and that is what Prakash Modi is all about. So, I don't need to say more as to what he is and what he does and so on and so forth. I only want to underline this, that he has an abiding interest in education, research, and development and growth of people, young people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I invite Professor Vaibhav Kadia to welcome the honorable guest, Shri Prakash Modi, with flowers. Thank you, Vaibhav. May I now request Dr. Bhavesh Patel, the Dean of Amrut Modi School of Management, to present a memento to the guest. Thank you, sir. It is with a feeling of anticipation and honor. It is with a feeling of anticipation and honor that I now invite Shri Prakash Modi, our respected patron, to share his response with us.
Respected Ilaben, Praful Bhai, Kalrosa, Mr. B.M. Shah, all the students of the Amrut Modi School of Management, our visiting guests who are here from England for the Conference on Life Sciences, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute privilege to stand in front of you. Whatever Praful Bhai said, please understand, he has been on our board for many, many years. So normally he doesn't tend to exaggerate, but a lot of what he spoke was pure exaggeration. All I can say is, my father, apart from the fact that started life absolutely without any financial means, had to borrow money to start this business and worked his way hard to come up in life. But somehow he always had this idea that in India we need education, we need training, we need development, we need research. And this was something which was always in his mind. And therefore, when Praful Bhai came up with this suggestion that something unique, something absolutely different is being done here in Ahmedabad, could we contribute in a small way? Me and my colleague Mr. Sharma were absolutely eager to get involved, and I do think that that's the best decision we have taken, particularly when we look at all the young faces around me here. These are the people who are going to make this institute the next IIM of the country, and I do hope that everyone is going to make sure that AMSOM will be a trailblazer and it's going to get involved into areas of management which hitherto cannot be even understood as management. For example, heritage management. Who the hell could think that you can run a management program on heritage management? So this is the out of box thinking which our friends at AMSOM have, our friends at Ahmadabad University have. So friends, thank you for giving us the privilege of associating with you in a small way. If there's something we can do so that this institute can go from strength to strength, we'll be more than happy to contribute. Wish you all the very best, and the fact that today, by the hands of such a wonderful and enlightened person like Ilaben, my father's bust got unveiled. I consider that to be a great privilege. Ilaben, that's the real seva you've done to our family. And I'm really hoping that we can be involved in your seva in some little way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for those words filled with confidence and encouragement. If education is synonymous with empowerment, empowerment with seva, and seva with Srimati Ilaben Bhatt, then Ilaben can rightly be called the embodiment of empowerment in education. It is our great pleasure and privilege to have her among us today, the founder of seva and the one who in the true Gandhian sense took the Vidyapith to the village women. I invite Dr. A.H. Kaldro, Provost, Ahmadabad University, to formally introduce our esteemed chief guest.
Srimati Ilaben, Dr. Prakash Modi, Shri Praful Bhai, Shri B.M. Shah, distinguished guests, colleagues, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an awesome privilege that I have been granted today to introduce to this audience Srimati Ilaben. For what does one say by way of introduction of a person who has already become a legend in her lifetime? I will therefore be very brief, because a person of her standing, her achievements, her contributions, her service to society does not require the Provost of Ahmadabad University to introduce her. Let me just say very few brief words as to why I have just said what I did. In today's highly materialistic world, we all value nothing else except position, money, power, well-being, and that too our own. We have forgotten the meaning of relationships. We fail to understand concern for those who are near and dear ones. And of course, we have no time to think about those who are less fortunate than us as members of society. And added to this is now the great big burden that technology is imposing on people, where with the tools of technology, even whatever little we were doing in trying to communicate with each other in person is now forgotten, because it's now only Facebooks and LinkedIns and the like. So in a world like this, it is extremely important that we spare some time to think about those members of our society who have suffered at the hands of the very society of which we all are a part, and for whom somebody faced all odds and challenges to do something about it. And Ilaben is one such person. She joined the Textile Labour Association, a union started by Mahatma Gandhi as a lawyer in the women's department. And I'm sure that Mahatma Gandhi's own thinking did influence her early years considerably, because she moved on from those early years to become the voice of the voiceless, the face of the faceless, and within that category, the women of India. India has always had a marvelous and a very great tradition, as we have read from our scriptures and our ancient writings, about the manner in which we have respected our women, of how we have venerated them and the high pedestal we place them on. And indeed, women were no different than God as far as society was concerned. But something went wrong over the centuries, centuries and centuries, because we are in a situation in this country today where the women are a totally lost voice. They are abused in many places, they are molested, they are harmed, they're not treated equally, and in fact, they don't even get the opportunity to fight for themselves because there are no laws or the statute books which enable them to do so. And for some person to actually remember all this and give them a voice to fight for their rights and indeed put them on the path of some reasonable progress is indeed something which is absolutely great. It is no wonder that she was awarded the Magsaysay Prize. It is no wonder that the President of India conferred on her in 2011 the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize as well. She has been the recipient of many, many honors, too numerous for me to name here. And indeed, if I start listing them, I will end up taking up time from her own speech. And she herself very modestly is telling me not to do so. I will respect her sentiment and not do that because I hope you will all appreciate along with me what a great privilege it is for all of us here today to have her in our midst and have this opportunity to listen to us. May I present you or to you, Leela Ahmadabad. Thank you.
I invite Professor Chirag Trivedi to present a bouquet of flowers and welcome our chief guest. Thank you, Chirag. I request Shri Praful Anubhai to present Srimati Laben with a shawl, a token of our appreciation. Thank you, sir. Without any further delay, I now invite our respectful chief guest, Srimati Laben, to address the gathering.
Perfect. This is the right size podium for me. Most of the place I don't find it, sir. My Sri Praful Bhai, let me say that I feel like I am sitting on I'm standing on the dais of Saptaka. I wish I could sing. My name is Prakash Bhai and Professor Shri Khanro and distinguished guests and dear students. First of all, greetings for the Foundation Day to all of us. Yes. Then, before that, we pay tribute to Shri Amritlal Modi of Ahmadabad and our sincere gratitude and tribute to him, and particularly Prakash Bhai. I'm really very happy to be invited to address a young audience at a young university. I must admit that my favorite audiences these days are people of your age, and sharing my thoughts and ideas with you and learn your ideas. That is what I enjoy doing more. I hope I'm able to communicate to you. Students, yeah? अब स्टूडेंट्स लोग सुन सकते हैं मुझे? Dear students, today I want to explore two subjects with you. One is the idea of Ahmadabad, and the other is the idea of Anuban, that is co-relatedness. I wonder why these two subjects, but before I talk about these two subjects, I must narrate to you my own relationship with Ahmadabad very briefly. What is the idea of Ahmadabad? My view of Ahmadabad is vividly colored from early childhood events embedded in the last years of the British Raj and the early days of Azadi. In my work, first with the city's textile labor union and then with the poor women self-employed, unionizing in Seva, which has now almost 9 lakhs members in the city. One view is personal and historic. Another view is evolved and imbibed from the Seva sisters over the last 4 decades. Both views overlap and from time to time transform each other. I was born in Desainipur. I got married in Shahibad. I began work in labor areas of Berhampura, Saraspur, Daryapur, Khokra, Bapunagar, and beyond. So to me, Ahmadabad is a many-splendid city with many memories and attachments. To me, Ahmadabad is a memory of mills, Majur Mahajan, Charlies, legal battles in labor court, and peaceful processions in areas such as Maskati Mahajan, Amar Bavallo, Saraspur, and Gandhi Ashram, fighting for the rights of the working poor. Ahmadabad is the place where I met and learned with my mentor, Motaben Ansuyaben Sarabhai, founder of Textile Labor Association. We began Seva in 1972 and later Seva Cooperative Bank 1974. I associate Ahmadabad with the institutions like Gujarat Vidyapeeth and Jyoti Sangh that Gandhiji established, and with Ahmadabad Educational Society that ensured flowering of academic disciplines. I also think of the tradition of appreciative inquiry of the North Indian musical, classical music, and the tradition, maybe new, of music festival in Ahmadabad. This is just a short list that I have thought. You may be able to make a longer one. So, you in this university will search for the essence of Ahmadabad. What is Ahmadabad in Ahmadabad University? You will develop a concise, the idea of Ahmadabad, the agreed discipline of ideology, the discipline of, if I may say, Ahmadabad theology, Ahmadabadology, like Indology, God willing. So, when you graduate from Ahmadabad University, tell us what is Ahmadabad University. I mean, what is Ahmadabad about Ahmadabad University that is worth studying and teaching and searching in Ahmadabad University. I would like to suggest Ahmadabad as a city as a people, as a capital, as a labor market, as a tradition, as a psyche, as a craft and textiles, as a design, art, music, management, and so on. Ahmedabad is also the city that Gandhiji chose as the nucleus of his work in India, almost 100 years ago in 1915. I think back on my childhood days when we all knew, spoke about and followed Gandhi, knowing or unknowingly. It is amazing when I think back to those days before any of these instant communication tools that we have today, how strongly and clearly the message of his movements got across the country. So, when I got out of college, my path, like many young people of our days, was set out for us. As if we knew that we had what we had to do. Young as I was, many of the turning points of the freedom movement are etched in my mind. The phrase, boycotting and bonfire for foreign clothes, bonfire for foreign clothes, is associated in my mind with an image of my grandmother's hurling down French silk sarees and sheepskin English suits from her first floor balcony in the Sanipur into the blazing embers in the street below. So, although we did not read much of Gandhi literature, his thoughts, ideas, and philosophy percolated into many levels. To the casual reader of the history of Ahmedabad, it is a city of different dynastic and powers that have left their mark in the form of splendid architectural monuments of Mughals and Sultans and Marathas and the British who ruled here. But what is forgotten that there are hundreds and thousands of ordinary unsung people who lived and worked to build Ahmedabad. The people from organized and unorganized sector who have devoted their lives and work to making the city work as an industrial center for rich and poor, as a commercial hub, for settled and migrant as a cultural center, for Hindus and Muslims and Jews as the most recognizable city in Gujarat. Even today, do you know, in Ahmedabad city, 77% of workers, that is 11.6 lakh workers, are in the informal unorganized sector, contributing rupees 2,700 crore rupees annually to the city economy compared to rupees 3,000 crore by the formal sector annually. Even though 47.5% workers on footpath or from their homes, while 11.5% have regular place of work. It is estimated that half of them, 50% of the total workers in the informal sector in the city are women workers. So, at least 1/3 of city wealth is created by the poor working people, mostly women. They were the leaders, the vendors of Manikchowk, who won the right to vend in the city marketplace under the recent law passed. This is the journey from Manikchowk to Parliament. That is the spirit of Ahmedabad and the people of Ahmedabad. The world of work or employment is like Ahmedabad as a center of women's finance. The growing link between the informal and the formal sectors of the city economy. The unbroken tradition of relationship of labor movement between the two sectors in the form of associations, unions and margins. The contribution of Gandhian thinking in various forms, traditions, institutions, old and new. City, united or ununited by the river and nurtured by lakes in Ahmadabad. Modernizing Ahmadabad traditions, people from different sections of society, beliefs, communities, religion, class and occupation had somehow managed to create concentric circles of cooperation and that made the city work. It is these correlations and coexistence bonds that I want to explore with the idea of Ahmadabad with you, young friends. My second subject is on Anubandha. The second subject that I share with you, that I want you to explore at a different level, it's a kind of my appeal. My appeal to you is for Anubandha. Anubandha, that is about our collective relationship with ourselves, the society, and the Mother Earth. This idea is from the vast legacy of the Gandhian thoughts. Anu means follow, Bandh means connections, relations. So Anubandh is a profound expression of wholeness of units. As I look at the world around me, I am pained to see how our Anubandh is getting weaker and weaker. Anubandh, that is care for each other and the world around us, is the invisible relation that holds our society together. A year ago, I was in Tadiket village in the green in Uttar Pradesh, in Uttaranchal, in the green and scenic Almora district to attend a Seva Sammelan. That day happened to be the day of the harvest festival. But instead of joy, what I saw were tears in the eyes of all the villagers gathered around the temple. They have a local Devi, and every spring at harvest time, a basket of the freshly gathered wheat is traditionally offered to the Devi, and there is a village puja. In recent years, after the rainfall has declined, the climate has been warmer, forests have dwindled, and animals come and eat up the wheat crop. That year, there was no wheat grown at all, and they had to buy wheat from the grocery shop for offering to the Devi in the village puja. They were feeling very sad that Devi had to be offered purchased wheat and not their own. We do not know what was Devi's choice of wheat. Another case. At the Talberg Forum, Sweden, two women farmers from Ghana, Africa, stated that what we produce, we do not eat. What we eat, we do not produce. Understand? What we produce, we do not eat. What we eat, we do not produce. So, I asked them, what do you eat? What is your staple food? They said, chicken and tomatoes. What do we eat now? Same, we buy from supermarket frozen chicken and tinned tomato puree. Have you lost your farm? I asked. No, we have now sericulture on our land. We produce silkworms. They said with a sigh. Earlier, it was poultry and tomatoes. I thought all for export. I have hardly seen any Ghanaian wearing any fabric other than cotton. I also, uh, I also see farmers in Thailand growing cash crop for export, and at mealtime, farmers eat frozen and canned food. At home, here, uh, we wear textiles made in China, elsewhere. Such ironies confront us at every corner today. Farmers who till the land and feed the world go hungry themselves. World food consumption is increasing, but farming is no longer a viable occupation. To quote a farmer from Kumarwad, he says, "A farmer is one who spends his whole life taking risks and dies doing so." Why such ironies? I am asking you. In a sense, whatever we do and think has its influence far and near. For instance, when the decision to locate a cold drink factory in Orissa is made in Delhi, the locals in Orissa are going to be disturbed because it is their river, their farms, their resource that are being polluted and depleted without their consent and often without their knowledge. When the decision is made by the local people, they will more likely to act responsibly to their community, responsible to the community and their groundwater table. They are inclined to ensure the benefit and protection of the people, the economy, and the local air, water, animals. The important question for us when making economic decisions is, will their product serve the local people and the region? Whatever we produce, it should help the community's well-being. The locals may be slow and will develop at their own pace, but that development will be sustainable. The local person would care about the size and scale of the production unit. In the case of crisis, the local people, the institutions, the agencies being close and more knowledgeable would remedy the issue more promptly than in most cases those who are far away. Over last decades, our concern for the local has been declining. We are becoming less aware and worried about our local situations, rising poverty, compulsive migration of our people, degradation of natural resources. Of course, we do not want to be parochial or hold false pride, but we also do not want to be ruthless and rootless. We need to think more seriously, think in a correlated way. Sure, we must think about our own self, our personal dreams, family, career, but we also definitely need to see and understand what is happening around, who benefits, who is losing. We must see ourselves in relation to the people who lose their land and food, their groundwater, their cotton, forests and fodder, their normal health, their culture and tradition, and not get lost to the market economy only. Their loss will ultimately impact us too. Their forests that protect them also protect us. Let us be mindful of our deeds. At a deeper level, let us be aware that human life is valuable and should be lived to serve not our own interests, but of others too. What we have done for our own self has no relevance or meaning to us or humankind. It is the Anuban, what we do in relation to others, that has, in the end, and more meaning for us all. I think our late Mr. Amrit Modi has been the best example for us. He looked forward, and then we also need to look forward. I wonder why these two concepts, Ahmedabad and Anuban, came to me when I started thinking of what I should talk about at the Ahmedabad University. Do tell me someday how the both ideas relate to each other, and I thank you again for this opportunity to be able to talk with young graduates and their parents and the faculty in this place. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure your words will set us thinking and introspecting. I now invite Dr. Kalro, Provost, Ahmedabad University, to announce the faculty awards. I also request Shri Prafulla Anuhai, Chairman, Board of Management, Ahmedabad University, to present these awards.
Ahmedabad University is pleased to bestow Excellence in Teaching Award on Dr. Chetan Parekh of Institute of Information and Communication Technology. Through his teaching and interactions with faculty colleagues, he contributed significantly to the learning of students and instilled in them the spirit of inquiry and motivated them to excel in their chosen field. This award is given on the foundation day of the Ahmedabad University, February 25, 2014.
In the pursuit of excellence and holistic development of learners, the university organizes a youth festival and sports tournaments every year. An undaunted will to win, a healthy competitive spirit, and skills have resulted in many spectacular display of talents at these events. We take this opportunity to appreciate the achievements of some of the students in various activities at the university level. May I request Dr. Kalro to award the trophies to the winners of cultural events at the Youth Festival. The trophy for the Best Performing Institute in Intellectual Events goes to HL Institute of Commerce. The trophy for the Best Performing Institute in Dance Events goes to School of Computer Studies. The trophy for the Best Performing Institute in Musical Events goes to HL Institute of Commerce. I request the winners team to come and collect the trophy, please. The trophy for the best performing institute in theatre events goes to School of Computer Studies. The trophy for the best performing institute in fine arts event goes to HL Institute of Commerce. The final one, the trophy for the best performing institute at Ahmadabad University Youth Festival goes to HL Institute of Commerce for winning the highest number of best performances across various categories. Thank you, sir. Next in line are the awards for excellence in sports tournaments. I request Shri B.M. Shah, Registrar Ahmedabad University, to present the trophies to the winning teams. Trophy for winning the Inter-College Volleyball Tournament for boys goes to HL Institute of Commerce. Trophy for winning the Inter-College Volleyball Tournament for girls goes to B.K. Majumdar Institute of Business Administration. Trophy for winning the Inter-College Basketball Tournament for boys goes to HL Institute of Commerce. Trophy for the Inter-College Basketball Tournament for girls goes to B.K. Majumdar Institute of Business Administration. Trophy for winning the Inter-College Cricket Tournament goes to HL Institute of Commerce. Trophy for winning the Inter-College Football Tournament goes to HL Institute of Commerce. The last one, trophy for the best performing institute in sports event goes to HL Institute of Commerce. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It is said that all's well that ends well, but not a single event we organize would ever see successful completion if it were not for a team of student volunteers who work diligently and selflessly throughout the year. These volunteers not only work, they make it work. We would like to acknowledge our appreciation for their silent efforts and their humble presence behind the scenes. I request Professor Parag Patel, Chairman, Ahmadabad University Students' Events and Activities Committee, to present letters of appreciation to our volunteers. I invite the School of Computer Studies students Sunil, Kajal, Setu, Yash, Naivik. I invite the students of B.K. Majumdar Institute of Business Administration, Devrat, Nakul, Priyanka, Kashyap, and Abhishek. I invite students of Postgraduate Institute of Management, Mayur, Vimal, and Nidhi. Finally, I invite students of HL Institute of Commerce, Chandan, Deepa, Atman, Koshani, Samar, Dhruvi, Riddhi, and Stuti. Vinay as well. Thank you, Farah. As the evening draws to a close, I invite Shri B.M. Shah, Registrar, Ahmadabad University, to offer the vote of thanks.
Respected Ilaben, guest of today's function, Sri Prakash Modi, guest of honor, Praful Anubai, Chairman, Board of Management, and our beloved Dr. Kaldo, all the faculty members, students, invited guests, and entire Ahmadabad University family. As Praful Bhai said, it's an historic event, historic moment today. We have reached one milestone of completing 5 years, and we are truly blessed to have a pious personality like Dr. Srimati Ilaben Bhatt and Prakash Bhai. Ilaben has talked about the glory of Ahmadabad, Anubhav, and her thoughts on education. And I must share, I think all respect, Ahmadabad University is connected to all the three things. In fact, it is a great coincidence that Ahmadabad University and City of Ahmadabad share the same birthday. 26 February is the day when Ahmadabad was born, made, and Ahmadabad University was created. Madam, we are all fortunate to have you and bless us, because you also carry blessings of millions of women for whose cause you are dedicated your life. I'm sure all of us would take this message with us, that someday we should work for others also, and not only work for our own self. So once again, on behalf of all of us, I extend great sense of gratitude, and will always remain cherished for this moment. You are part of Ahmadabad University network forever. Sri Prakash Modi has been so modest that for years we have been after him to witness this moment, but he has been always delayed. The donation of 15 crore was the first when Ahmadabad University was created. And I must say, after Gujarati mein kehwa chahiye, ye jitne saru rupe nahi wo motu ugi nikle. And sir, let me tell you that your first initial contribution has helped Ahmadabad University to go a long way, and we have been receiving this kind of support and donations in abundance, and we are sure we will be blessed to continue the same. We are all indebted to you for the work that you and your family has done. Ahmadabad University will remain grateful to honor. Finally, to Parag Patel and his team for making this and all other events a great success. They have been working hard day in and day out. To all the invited guests for being with us on this joyous moment, and to all our friends from overseas also, thanks to all of you have made them witness what Ahmadabad University is, what is going to be. And before I conclude, let me share a good news. To make this event historic, we are going to launch 2 more projects today. Ahmadabad Education Society has taken up a major project of building sports complex, and from this we will be all going there, where the complex the first phase of the complex will open today, and I extend hearty welcome to all of you to join there. And I'm sure all the sports lovers next year would see that value as a great asset for development of sports for all of us. Thank you, and thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Before we all move towards a newly open sports complex, I request you all to rise for the singing of the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्तर बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 जय